Hello! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm here early. There's a little bit of stuff to talk about from the feeds. Episode is on at 5 my time, so just about an hour or so. But we can hang out, we can chat about the season a little bit. And also, today is the last day for the plushies. Final day. After today, there's no more orders. It is your last chance. This is where the plushie count was the last time I was on stream, which was Sunday. So I do have an update to the plushie count. The goal was 500. And the current number has gone up to this. Actually, hold on. No, sorry, that's wrong. It's actually this! Turns out a lot of people were waiting. We are at 646. Orders have been coming in. Mitch, thank you for the 71st month. 71. So many little Callus plushies. I'm also gonna get a few for myself, a few extras. Shabina, thank you for the 646. Yeah, I think especially in the last couple days, yeah, like literally the last Monday, Tuesday, and today, a ton more orders. I think a lot of people have genuinely been like waiting to put their orders in. And so a bunch of them are coming in. I just want to make sure that at this point, like, I just want to make sure everyone gets one if they want one. I want to make it as clear as possible that today is the final day. I will be very sad for people if they come to me tomorrow and they're like, oh no, I really wanted one. Hey, Aubrey. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, incredible. This is far surpassed my honestly highest expectations. Wild, thank you. So thank you all so much. It's so cool. It's so cool that it's like my little kitten. What I'm like excited about is yes, thank you. Jesse, I should say. One of the reasons why is that like I'm gonna get a few for myself is that um I'm just kind of imagining a world where like someday I have kids and I can like give them their own little Kellis plushie, whether they've met Kellis or not at that point. You know what I mean? And I think that's so cool. So, thank you all for joining in to my uh my little tribute to my cats. And thank you so much to Steph, who very much made this whole thing possible. Um, yes, let's run the. So there was a giveaway that wasn't redeemed, so let's run it. Um, Steph, I also think, by the way, I think that's what the discrepancy in the numbers were last time. I think that once we redeem that one, or once that one is redeemed, the numbers will be the same. So there's the giveaway. Um, yeah, this has just been. It's been such a cool experience to I've never really like we've sold some merch here and there, but like this is just like so actually personal and custom to me. So it's been really cool to see how many people like want a little Kellis in their home. And how many people are going to have like how cool is that? It's like it's so hard to wrap my head around that like let's look at this. More people are buying plushies right now. 653. That as of right now, 653 little Kellises are spread throughout the country. Or not just the country, also Canada. And also 2 from the UK, 1 in Australia, 1 in New Zealand, and 1 in France. So there you go. I don't think I can see states. I just see countries. I assume if we have 653 orders and most of them are from the US, like just over 600 of them are from the US. Force, thank you. I assume we're in all states at this point. Although I don't know, maybe Alaska's hard to find. Maybe we don't have Alaska. I don't know. If you're in Alaska and you've ordered a plushie, let me know. The show is on at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. Order one to Alaska. There's more. There's more in Canada. In Canada, there's 42 orders. I don't think I can see states, so unfortunately I can't look at that. But now 6:55. I was honestly blown away. I was like, I was a little worried because I felt like we could get to 500. But I figured I'd have to be streaming, and I knew that I wasn't gonna have like the Sunday episode stream. So I was like, man, Wednesday, we'll see if we can push 500, and then we hit 500 and just kept going. Jen, thank you for the 36th. You know what my least favorite thing about treadmills is, I think, so far? Is that when you just kind of like graze the treadmill with your shoe, it makes a very annoying sound. Like this high pitched like squeal. Um the walking part. It is wild. I really did not think we would make it to 100. Or to 300. I really felt um like this was genuinely what I thought. I thought we need to sell enough plushies so that the profit from the plushies is enough to cover the losses of buying the rest of the plushies. That was the goal I was trying to hit, with the expectation that I might need to take a loss. We did math. Yeah. Yes, tonight is the final night. Thank you everyone who's ordering the plushies here. Link is pinned in the chat. It's also pinned on my Twitter. Shelley, thank you for the 13th. Cutoff time is tonight. Roughly midnight. Pacific. That's what we got. Scally wants to hit 750. Scally, all you need to do is buy roughly 100. We'll be set. The next milestone after 500 is 1,000, which we're not getting. So, and quite honestly, even when you hit 1,000, it only the manufacturer cost only drops by like 50 cents, something like that, which is not nothing, but like 500 was way bigger. I think the stock watch is currently broken. Soccer, thank you for the 3 months. You are right. At 1,050 cents is still $500. I guess it seems smaller, but it actually isn't that much smaller. But either way, I don't think we're selling 350 plushies in 8 hours. Nor is that like a goal. We have, again, far surpassed anywhere near what the expectations were. We're now at, whoa, 664. Yeah, I think there was a bug on there usually is a bug on the stock watch where like the top people are bugged out. I think in addition to that, there was something going on with like double buying, stuff like that. I apologize. The stock watch website is kind of like limping along at the moment. We will probably have to like overhaul at some point soon. I did buy chemo. I was pretty happy with that one. I didn't really um I didn't really take a lot of time. I just kind of like winged it on chemo. Um and him and T-Core I think made the most money by a decent amount. I'm not sure actually. So, good start for me, but I have a feeling this is going to be kind of a tricky season, or at least first few weeks. I sell and then rebuy, yeah. Will I go back to doing Twitch stock watch streams? So I've mentioned this before. I would like to do more streams, uh, especially with the idea that like I can just leave the stream up even when I'm not here. I kind of talked about that idea before. Just sort of like leave this as a place for people to hang out and chat, and then I can pop in. Which is very necessary because even the idea of doing that, I'm like procrastinating on. Because I'm like, well, now's not a good time to start that yet. When I really should just start it. But what I think I want to be able to provide a visual. So I guess that's what I need to work on is what is the visual like for people if I'm not here. It's Wednesday now, so maybe we can try and start it like for next week. Something along those lines. And then we'll see how it goes. Fish. Well, so basically when I say visual, I talked about this the other day, but like I think it would be cool to have like my update graphic where it's like you have all of the people. Thank you, Vader. You have all the house guests and the current state of things. And then maybe like a Twitter feed running or something like that. Maybe some kind of like way for me to give what I especially because there's no flashback. I feel like when you want to jump in and watch feeds, it can be a little tricky because you don't know what has happened. So like so like a little summary of like here's the latest when I'm able to type something like that up so that you can just jump in and immediately have like most of your questions answered would be cool. But of course I wouldn't always be able to update that stuff if I'm not home or anything like that. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what would be a good experience for people to like hang out. Congratulations to giveaway winners. I'll say again, just to remind anyone that hasn't heard yet, this is the final day for plushie orders. Tomorrow you will not be able to order any plushies. The orders will be done. Yes, we made 500. We made well beyond. Man, I mean, I honestly, every time I think about it, I'm just like, it's so wild. I didn't need 2,000. I needed 300. 300 was the number of the minimum order. And then everything beyond 300 is. Well, then the next milestone is 500. Which lowers the production cost. Hold on, what are they talking about in here? Okay, I don't think they're talking about anything important. So yeah, brief update right now. Angela told Tucker that Quinn had the power. Tucker didn't believe it at first, but Chemo confirmed it. And then, what, like a half hour or so ago? Tucker told Chelsea, Lisa does not have the power. I know who has it. And then feed's kind of cut, so we don't really know the extent of that conversation, but it is spreading. Power info is spreading. Thank you, Mikey. I think this is like, it's not the end of the world for Quinn, but it's bad for him that this is starting to spread without him being involved or even knowing. Like, ideally, he is in on this. Miss, thank you for the 33rd. Like, I'm surprised that Tucker hasn't gone to Quinn himself. Oh, well, you know what? The problem is he did. And Quinn denied it. But he hasn't gone back to Quinn after the confirmation. You know what? Let me put this here. Hold on, I need like a drop shadow or something. Outline? Outline size. Probably should have done that to begin with. There we go. Yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of talk about like people don't really care if it is Quinn, but it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to like find out it really is Quinn. Oops. All right, we are now at 672. It is a tough group for stocks. I mean, the first thing for Quinn is that he needs to find out that people are finding out. And then once he finds out, like, he definitely needs to admit it to Tucker and use it to lock in the alliance. Like, that's kind of the deal. The problem is that it's like unconstrained right now. Quinn doesn't know that chemo confirmed, or at least we don't think that Quinn knows the chemo confirmed to Tucker. I mean, we should also probably talk about how kind of wild it is that Tucker is telling people that he now knows that Lisa doesn't have a power when he is also currently sitting on the block. Yeah, I just heard Squid Game season 2 was announced. Or not like announced, but like a date was announced. I assume the scripted show. And they announced season 3 will be the final season. Interesting. I think that's fair if you're trying to like milk a very popular property that probably doesn't need to be more than a season to begin with. I think capping it at 3 is probably the most you can get from it before it's absurd. Heard some not good stuff about Beast Games. I feel like I've seen some stuff, but I don't know what it is. They did make 10 Saw films. To be fair, Saw has a pretty repeatable premise. Oh, we also got we heard that 28 years later just finished filming, and apparently that's going to be a 3-part trilogy, which is wild. It's already the 3rd movie in a franchise, but I think they're removing the 2nd movie, so it's just going to be a sequel to 28 Days Later, but it's a sequel that's in 3 parts. And Danny Boyle's not even directing all of them? But Alex Garland is writing all of them. So, Cillian Murphy is back. But here's my fear. Cillian Murphy is back, but is he back for 3 movies? Recent Oscar winner Cillian Murphy, he's going to commit to 3 movies. Makes me worry that they're going to kill him off in the first one, which I really hate. I really hate sequels that just kill off their protagonist right away. or whatever. There have been some stories that do that. What's Angela saying? Oh, Angela's finally realizing she should be pitching that Lisa does have the power. I did watch the new Time Bandits. I mentioned it a little bit on Tastemakers. We'll probably talk about it next week. But the short of it is, do I use the average or median when figuring out audience rating in the stopwatch? I think it's a weighted average. Let me find it. I have so many things open. Weighted average. I don't think it's like weighted any weird, like in a weird way though. I think it's just because I do weight when we did the like tier, like what tier is this player in? I had to weight each tier in a specific way. So I think it's just straight, it's pretty much just straight average. Rings of Power is prime. Man, I'm so annoyed at Prime though. Like I'm already paying for Prime, and then all of a sudden they automatically make me like put me into an ad tier and tell me I need to pay more if I don't want ads. And I'm like, whatever, screw you, Prime. I'll just mute the ad when I start it. But now they've started pushing ads in the middle of episodes. And you know the wild part about this, they could have easily just increased the price. I wouldn't have even noticed. If they just increased the price by like $2.50 or whatever it is, I wouldn't have even noticed. I would have just kept paying for it. That's what Netflix does all the time. But no. They had to be like, you have to manually pay us more. We're going to automatically downgrade you. And now on principle, I'm like, no thanks. Yeah, I think Amazon Prime was like the first subscription I ever like purchased as an adult. It was like a very like large purchase for me. I was like, I'm gonna do Amazon Prime. And it was just for shipping at that point. Because I remember in college, when I just got to college, there was an upperclassman who was like on his computer at like 3 a.m. and we were chatting, and he was just like, "Man, Amazon Prime, it just has me ordering things all the time." I was like, "That sounds cool." I just refreshed the Stockwatch survey instead of the plushy analytics. 674. Yeah, Nebula is very reasonable. It's like for a year, it's like what? Like it's like I think it's like $5 a month if you subscribe monthly, but for a year it's like cheaper. 300 for life. I love for life subscriptions. I'm kind of a huge sucker for life subscriptions. They were running a $30 a year promo. Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds familiar. All right, Angela's pitching. DHOH. Angela with her wild reads. Based on your body language, I'm guessing Lisa told you she has the power and proposed that she'll use it to your advantage in the future. I know there's another power out there. Oh my god. How is it that after 15 days, or what, 14 days? 13 days? Since she's found out about Quinn's power, she still hasn't made the connection that both Quinn and Lisa cannot have powers together. Yeah, feeds are switching because she's talking about Quinn.
I'm sure all most of the women. Yeah.
I would get another kitten, but I don't. I just worry that Kellis doesn't want another kitten because he seems to hate other cats. I would love to get one though. It would also have to. It's a weird situation where I would have to find a cat that fits two very specific criteria. One is that I'm not allergic to it, and two, Callis likes it. Kellis has never met a cat that he likes, unfortunately. I am on a treadmill. So like, so there's a neighborhood cat that will come up to like various windows. And if Kellis even catches a glimpse of this cat, he becomes an entirely different cat. Like I've never seen him. He's hissing. He's like, ah. He's still not attacking me or anything, but he's very upset. He doesn't like it. He has hung out with cats before. He's very mean to them. Can take some time. I just worry that Kellis would murder the cat. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, because it's like, on one hand, you're like, oh, it's just another kitten. They just want to be friends because the other cat's chill. But then, if you think about it, I'm like, well, if there was another human that was just strolling up to my windows and poking their head in and being like, hey, I just want to hang out. I'm just a friend. Yeah, I would also be freaking out. And Kellis would be like, why are you freaking out? It's just another human. Just another human that wants to be friends. What's funny is that like Angela is getting a response that feels like they don't care what she's saying. They're not really interested in hearing her out. And under normal circumstances, you would read that as they're voting me out. But the reality is they just don't want to deal with her paranoia because they're already keeping her. She has been told that people are keeping her. She just doesn't believe them. Yeah, very much, Ryan. Very much so. I really think like the last couple days have been pretty slow. I really don't think this week would have been considered as slow as it was if we could have actually seen like the drama. But man, having not seen it, it feels slow. I mean, my speculation is basically like that there's something controversial. We already know it's probably the racial component to what was being discussed. But beyond that, they also did cut like the Angela Lisa fight prior to that. So it sounds like in general, they're just worried that Angela might say something that would require them to kick her out of the game. And so they're preemptively cutting the feeds. So that we don't catch it. Which helps protect their doesn't protect Angela, again, to be clear, but it protects them from having to deal with this stuff, or at least I think they think it does. The July 27th live update video isn't in the playlist. Sometimes these things. The best person to message about that would be Sam or Scott, if you are able to find them. Yeah, Leah's in the DR a lot. I'm sure we're going to get lots of Love Island segments. Type of HOH, do I think it's tomorrow? Honestly, who knows? Without the typical formula of like a physical competition every 2 or 3 comps, like there's all kinds of possibilities. Will we see the pressure cooker this year? Probably not. Will they preview the AI comp again? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really know what they get out of the previews. It would be very funny. I don't think you can bring like a full-on plushie into the house. I do want to ask you guys, how are you liking the titles and thumbnails of the YouTube videos for the updates and the recaps and stuff? Useful, like them? Yeah, I always hated the like live feed update. This is the date. I'm pretty sure we still do have the date in the title. But it's very much like, hey Ross, what's up? It's very much like, what is the best way to pack in as much like information as possible? It's like, we want the date, we want the day, We want that it's a live feed update, but we also want some kind of explanatory title. But it's like, it's been a lot of work to come up with titles and thumbnails. That's a good point, Elliot. Okay, there's a couple of things that, because I've looked through, I've noticed a couple of things. One is that the thumbnail, the day on the thumbnail, you're right, is covered by the duration. And that also can make it a little more difficult to immediately recognize what's an update and what's a recap. Because like I think the idea is that the update, you'll see that there's like day whatever on the thumbnail. But when I was looking through, I did have a little trouble immediately distinguishing, and I think it was because the duration covers up that little marker. So maybe that's something we can move to the left side, possibly. What update has the most views? I think right now it's What's Wrong with Angela? The, I believe, second or third recap or update of the season. Although I'm not sure exactly how that compares historically. But definitely for this season, it's like a pretty high one. What's Wrong with Angela? Almost 70,000 views. On YouTube, at least. Which I do think is interesting because usually the first one is the highest viewed one, and then it kind of slowly goes down from there, and then there's some spikes here and there. But like, this time that one has been the highest, and then I think the next highest is the Angela situation, and then it's the first one, Storage Wars. So theoretically, that indicates that labeling it as like the Angela stuff did make more people watch that one as opposed to the other ones. But I don't know if it's a significant difference. Did we stop listing day? Hold on. All right, day is in the thumbnail. Date is in the title. Yeah, you're right. Do you guys prefer the day in the title or the date in the title? Because I think what we found was that we probably don't have room for both, but I'm not sure. Date is much preferred. Okay, I think that's what we have right now. Because then we do have day in the thumbnail. These are like conversations that we've been having. Let me tell you, they're not my favorite conversations. Much more of the like admin slash marketing side of this job that I have been lucky enough to not have to deal with too much. But I'm definitely gonna bring the feedback back about the duration covering the day. I think ultimately you want both. So if we're able to split it up between thumbnail and title, that's probably good. Because like I just know from my own experience of like trying to find updates from the past. Like this date means nothing to me because I don't know what day it is. But then sometimes the day means nothing to me and the date would be a little more helpful. Oh, they have to be at a sync.
I don't think so.
Chemo essentially advising to just come out with it. Okay, I missed the very beginning of that. Chemo did not tell Quinn that he told Tucker, right? He's just saying that Tucker has been told by Angela. Be a great time to be able to rewind. Oh, here comes Angela. She's gonna be so suspicious of that. She's gonna be so suspicious. Oh, this... Hey, thank you. Episode's coming on soon. Okay.
Weird. I never go upstairs. Need to know.
West, welcome to the Robot Army.
I know.
Plushie counter 677.
This is it's getting weird. It's getting like. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah.
They're discussing if they should include Chelsea.
I agree. I agree. 100%.
They're just so unfocused. That's the thing with this cast.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryder.
Yeah. So weird. Oh yikes.
We blew past the minimum goal for the plushies. We hit the next goal and we blew past that.
Oh.
Yeah, chemo encouraging Quinn again to help more people.
I don't know. That's just a thought.
Yes, that is correct, Quinn. You do need to form a core. 5 people. Trusts Brooklyn. But she's too smart, yes. He's telling chemo about the Cedric funnel too. Quinn, why do you tell everyone everything? The Cedric final 2 was like, that's like an ace in your pocket, man. Cedric could have been his JC. Never spill final 2. I completely agree. There's basically never reason to tell anybody about a final 2 that is not with them. You can say it's a fake final 2, but that still makes you seem like you have a bunch of people who consider you their number 1. And it makes the person you do have a final 2 with that you're telling wonder, am I a fake final 2? Final 2 discussion should be relegated to, if it gets outed, oh, that wasn't even a real. We said it once on day 4. Never talked about it again. Not, so I have a fake final 2 with this person right now. Thank you for the plushie purchase. I do think you should make multiple final 2s. I think it can be very beneficial. But Tyler never told people about his final 2s. He just had them. And he didn't lose because of his final 2s. He lost because he didn't have enough final 2s. All right. Episode is coming quite soon. So let's pull it up. All right. House target is still Lisa as of right now. Let's run a prediction. Commercial buy 512. Plushie count 680. Kiki, thank you for the 59th month. You want to be 700. We got over 500. This little guy. Today is the final day. Final day for plushies. There is an unlimited amount, but today is the final day to order. You can no longer order after today. And there are no plans for them to come back at any point. Spikey, thank you for the 8th. Because basically, if we brought them back at any point, it would be another minimum of 300. And everyone's already bought them at this point. So. All right. Episode is on.
Big brother.
Guys, remember Matt? Thank you, someone, for the plushie purchase. I always feel this way, but this feels like such a long recap. It's like there's a... Oh, wow. Wait, hold on. Is that real? Kiki gifted 5 plushies? Am I reading that right?
Wow, a 5!
Plushies! It's a lot of plushies. Still recap. Okay, we have some winners. Wow. Susan, Dr. Dasha, Fox, and Shakespeare all won a plushie from Kiki. Make sure you thank Kiki for that extreme generosity. Schmo, thank you for the 35th. All right, we are moving now. Make sure you redeem your plushies also if you win them. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to redeem after it closes. So if you don't redeem, we might need to rerun the giveaway. I don't believe there's a way to give to a specific user now. It's part of my it's part of my job. Part of my job. It's part of my job. It's funny. I lived in Boston for like 10 years. And honestly, I don't think I really heard a Boston accent like once. Here we are, 690. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I know it's a flashback, but you can't cut out the pause between great and low budget movie. It ruins the timing. Are we just listing off Quinn's alliances? We are. When I look at them, I see home. That tracks. We expected that. Oh, here's the Lisa Chelsea conversation. Thank you, Ashley. $6.92. Show the fee. Thank you, Blade, by the way. $4.93. Oh, you can't see the feed. Oh, I didn't want to see it. Wow, early commercial. Oh. All right, what's the next prediction? This is the veto episode. What are we going to see in the veto episode? Grab, thank you for the plushie purchase. Yeah, I guess we do veto draw. We see the veto draw in the next segment. Angela Quinn confrontation happened post veto. Post veto comp, at least. Thank you, Kendall. For the 16th. I mean, I would not be surprised if we see nothing of the Lisa or the Angela. Like, it would not surprise me if the Angela Quinn confrontation was turned into something different than they were actually arguing about. Like one part of the argument that they can focus on. They kind of did that in like BB11 with Braden. They just tried to like, ooh, let's just go right past the things he said. People are saying Joseph is serving BB10 Dan. No, no shot. I think people dramatically underestimate how much Dan was doing in the first couple of weeks. James, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to Robot Army. Noel, thank you. What did Braden say in 11? Some nasty stuff. Racism, homophobia. Take your pick. We're back. Man, it's nice to watch the show in good quality. I'm used to the terrible quality of the feeds. Denmo, thank you for the 43rd. I'm honestly still not used to T-Core's accent, and I think it's mostly because I don't hear her talk that much. She's always like whispering and mm-hmming. All right, they're doing it. So they're just taking the let's sanitize this as much as possible route. Doctor, thank you for the plushie purchase. I will say, Angela's explanation makes me feel worse about her doing this. This whole thing about like, I was trying to point out that we should work with them, like, sounds kind of fake in the context of what we're seeing, but like the reality is, and I think the proper defense here is that she just constantly points out groups all the time. And the thing is, she's never pointing them out to work with them. Hey, buddy. I don't know where he went. Cedric in the DR, man. It's so funny. He's so animated. He's so much more animated in the DR than he is in like real life. So that's the setup. The confrontation happens after the veto comp. Generally, yeah, he's very much a Johnny Mac in the DR. Generally, they will mostly keep the timeline. They're certainly prone to manipulative edits, but we'll probably see the veto competition before we see the call out because that's how it actually happened. Yes, no veto draw. Let's run it back though. We're gonna get a veto draw this time. Man, that's the thing too, is that like if Angela hadn't blown up on Quinn, guarantee you this never makes the show. It is, I think, important to keep in mind though, like we are technically seeing the basics that we basically already knew. But there's a reason they're still hiding this on the feeds. There's clearly more to it than they're going to put in the episode. All right, we're back. Right away, we get the veto draw. And it's funny how much we're hearing about the Pentagon. Yeah, those DRs were definitely after the fight. All right, I'm closing in on 9,000 steps. I think at 10,000, I'm going to sit down. I generally like walking while streaming. Um, Today, I started a bit early. And also, I'm very tired today. I went climbing, and I exhausted myself. Mr. Chippy, thank you for the plushie purchase. $6.96. Ooh, there's a giveaway. And in the middle of the giveaway, Bree gifting 5 subs.
Wow, a 5.
Make sure you thank Bree. And also thank JC for the gifted plushie. Do I climb with a weighted jacket now? I'm also in the middle of a cut right now, which does not help with energy levels. So it's almost the opposite of a weighted vest. Congratulations to the giveaway winner. Make sure you redeem your plushie win. Thank you, madame. We are at $6.99 for whoever said they wanted to be 700. So there's a pretty key difference to this competition that again implies to me that they are paying attention. I'm sure many of you have noticed immediately. The typical way you play this comp is that they make you run back and forth. And in this competition, they are stationary trying to build their structure. Which makes a huge difference There it is. Mastro. With the 700th. Order. It's wild. Laura, thank you. This does look so hard. Mr. Chippy, thank you for the 7th. Thank you, someone. He's a fighter and a winner, guys. Noah, welcome to the Robot Army. Okay, let me tell you. I will tell you my read on the Angela calling out the group situation. My read on it is that Angela is extremely paranoid, and anytime any group of people is together, she thinks they're conspiring against her. We have seen this consistently from the moment the feed's turned on. I think that she absolutely, giveaway running, absolutely pointed that group out as a way of being like, they're working together. This is another group. I don't think that she meant it in any kind of way that I think would be upsetting for somebody to have that be pointed out to. I think that T-Core was perfectly reasonable to feel like there could be something there. And her response is extremely valid. But I think given the context of what we've seen on the feeds, I do think it was just one of many. However, once it was brought to Angela, I think Angela panicked and ran a defense that doesn't make much sense. And so she's trying to, like, instead of Angela, like, recognizing, I'm just paranoid and I think everybody's conspiring against me, Angela is instead trying to be like, well, no, I was saying we should work with them. As a way of trying to defend herself. And she's like, how dare you, Quinn, or making it out to be like this when it's not, like trying to basically villainize Quinn in the situation. When the reality is like it was I think it was just a bit of a misunderstanding. And a perfectly reasonable one from like pretty much all sides. There's no reason to get this worked up. Um like Tikor should be able to feel like, hey, I don't feel super comfortable about this. There could be something off about it. Express that, and for people to just have a normal conversation about it. Um, so anyway, that's given that we don't know a lot. That is what I would assume is most of what has happened, and I assume there was probably some deeper stuff that went on between Angela and Quinn and Angela and Lisa, and probably some bad things were said. Um, but in terms of like the actual meat of the situation, I think that's probably it. Okay. Prediction. Sorry, I spent the whole commercial going over that, and so I don't have a prediction ready. And we're back. Okay. We'll go without a prediction this time. Taran ordered 3 months in advance. Thank you. We're now at 7:08 for the plushie. Thank you so much. Exactly. Exactly, Rich. The Arctic. That might have been a redemption. But thank you regardless. Yes, congrats. Congrats, Arctic. Okay, we hit 10,000. Do the episode viewers even know anything about Angela versus Lisa? Alexa, thank you. You're just assuming. What is somebody supposed to assume? It's such a bad defense. See, this is like don't put that in there. It's such a like a it definitely shows a mentality. Hold on. Don't let that narrative get out. Oh boy. Sorry, Cedric in the DR is so funny in contrast. See, yeah, I mean, the fact that like T-Core is now like I feel guilty that I said something like that's lame. That's lame that like you would make somebody feel guilty for bringing like she should feel comfortable bringing it up. It shouldn't be something that like it's such a tactic of people that like just never want to discuss race at all to be like you are not allowed to ever bring it up ever unless you have like unless I could be convicted in a court of law like and if you do you're a bad person for bringing it into this. Like sorry. Her face. Did she just say spoon? Oh man. Um okay, there's a lot here. Let me see if I what could a prediction be? There's too much to talk about. We can't focus on predictions. Um Yes. So Spoon. I agree. This makes me feel worse about Angela than than I thought. Um, which makes me wonder, like, how much worse does it get? Okay, hold on though. Does anybody have those fiber gummies? I'm sorry, this is a very sharp turn, but has anybody eaten those fiber gummies? Because I tried the fiber powder and I just hate powder. But if you go for the pills, there's like nothing in them. It's like, why even bother? Anyway, you have to take so many pills for like nothing. Okay. Uh, so Tikor comes in. Even the very mention of like Tikor is trying to explain her experience, right? To Angela of like, this is how I feel, and this is why that might make me feel that way. And the second she brings it up, Angela instantly uh like dismisses it and shuts it down. Like, don't even bring that into this, right? Like, it's just immediately dismissing T-Core's experiences and the way that she feels about the situation. Um, like, and it shows an extreme disregard for that perspective, which ironically is more an indication that like there could be a problem than anything else. Um, and it's, I think, a very common response of like, if somebody wants to bring up a sensitive topic, quote unquote, and like, I mean, the fact that sensitive topic is even kind of like the thing in general, the way that you would describe that is kind of the point. That like, sensitive topic for somebody who's explaining their experience in life is kind of wild, right? Like, if they want to express how they feel about a way that they are treated, um, that's all of a sudden a sensitive topic that they should be careful about bringing up because, you know, how will it make the people they're talking to look? We're talking about look, right? Um, and so it creates this situation where it's like you're villainized for talking about your own experience, for even bringing up the topic. Hold on, we're back. They're muting. Mhm. That is a 180 apology. I'm not. I listen. It's an apology. I'll take it for its face value. It definitely feels a little fishy, but I'll take it at face value. But I mean, listen, honestly, like, here's the deal. I'll say this: if she was talked to by production and they explained how and why she was wrong and that she should go apologize because of it, like, is that a bad thing? Only if it's disingenuous, right? We are at 7:12. I don't know when that happened. Just to remind everyone, this is the final day to order a plushie. They will no longer be available after today. I think we'll get the. Let's We haven't done this yet. Let's run a final DR. Tucker, Angela, Chelsea, Quinn, Lisa, Kenny, MJ. Those are the mostly the options there, and we'll go other. Who has the final DR? You're right, Leah was not in this episode, and quite honestly, I think that's a good thing. We did not need Love Island. I'm sure we'll get it next time. I mean, to be fair, we do need Love Island a little bit because we need to explain the Cam situation with Chelsea. Why? Why are there two actors just sitting on a couch talking? I have it muted. It's just kind of weird. We're back. We're back. Thank you, someone, for the plushie purchase. That puts us at 713. So, correct me if I'm wrong. We didn't actually see him volunteer. Did we? Did I just miss it? We did. Okay. It was just very quick. Okay. Thank you for the plushie purchases. He betrayed me. Looks like it's Angela. Do. All right. Let me remind you one more time. It is the final day for plushies. If you want a plushie, this is your last chance. There's no more plushie after today. If you do not have one ordered, you will never have one. I can't explain it in any other ways. Runder, thank you for the 61st month. First month. JC gifting. We got a giveaway running. But yes, this is the last chance. This is the last stream before the plushie sale ends, so I just want to be very clear. This is the final opportunity. I will be back soon on the podcast. We'll talk about this episode. Plenty to talk about, I think. And then, of course, tomorrow I will be live with the update. We'll have another stream during the episode. And then I would love to like do something with like maybe get one of those longer streams going to like just have it up so you guys can chat in here for next week, but we will see. Yes, that's what we've got. Thank you so much for all of the plushie purchases. I very much appreciate it. We're at 717. It's an unbelievable amount of plushies. It's overwhelming and wonderful, and I cannot thank you all enough. I really hope that you all love your little plushie. And I will see all of you very soon on the podcast.